I know scientifically that there is no way that ghosts are real, but yet I also know that my fucking building is haunted. This office building that I bought like a few years ago is haunted. I am convinced of it. Other people tell me stories, and it just all adds up to, for some reason, we think something is. Something is amiss. So here's the rundown. I bought this building back year before I got cancer. Like 6 months, a year just before I got cancer. So I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And it was, to say a fixer-upper is being generous. I would say more, it was really a tear-downer. As you already know, they already tore off the apartments off the top. One side of the building was leaning, they tore that off. The one side used to be a kitchen restaurant, a breakfast. They served like eggs and stuff they were famous for, I guess, in 1908 or something, 1912, some long time ago. This part here that we're sitting in now used to be an illegal alien bar. So needless to say, there was no licensing or anything. I think there may have been a couple shootings, or at least there was one stabbing I know of in here. Who knows what went on in the apartments upstairs, you know, or the building that they had to tear down, you know, made the whole building lean off to the side from the rest of it, tried to get away. So this building has some history. It's not a new place. It's been around for a while, and there's some weird shit going on here, man. You know, that no one can explain. So I had the contractors completely redo the entire building. New drywall, new insulation, insulate every interior wall also. And they're like, why do you want the interior walls? You know, and my thought at the time was just because I can do zone heating and have one area hot and the warehouse I can have colder because no one's in there and stuff like that. I didn't know it'd also give me the added advantage of making this place whisper fucking quiet like a vault. I mean, it's pretty damn quiet. Considering there's bars up and down the street, we don't hear anything unless they're right in front of the windows and making a lot of noise. So it's very quiet. That's why I'm going to show you the bathroom is an isolated room. It used to be 2 bathrooms, one side for the kitchen, one side here for the bar, but they were too tiny, you know, yeah, fuck that. Make it one big bathroom so I can so I can shit in comfort and also have the mop room in there and everything else. But I really liked the old sink because the sink was original Art Deco, and so I had them keep the sink as they were able to do that. You know, she always keeps some old fixture or something from the original building. So sitting in that bathroom is a completely isolated room. It's isolated from the other walls, from the outside. And I'm sitting there, and I hear like a woman and child giggling and laughing, and like they're playing on like my wife and kid play on the floor together, you know, and it sounds like that, but it's not my wife and kid I'm hearing, you know, obviously they sound different. And I'm just like, that's weird. And then I hear music. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's from the bars or something. But I look at my watch, and it's 3:30 in the morning. As a business owner, sometimes you end up working very, very late or all-nighters, you know, as you so say. And I'll just sleep tomorrow around noon. I'll take a nap. So I'm like, I hear music. I'm like, how the fuck can I hear music? And I'm like, oh, maybe the radio's on in my office or in the wife's office, and I'll go check. And I'm like, but that's not music that plays on anyone's office radios. It was Bad to the Bone was playing. Not a terrible song, but there's a country bar next door, and the other bar is a Mexican bar. So, it's neither one of them is playing Bad to the Bone. And I'm just like, wow, that's weird. Maybe someone out back. And I look out the back door, and as you saw in one of the other reference videos, there's nothing out there, man. It's fucking a ghost town out back behind this place. And I'm like, well, maybe someone was just driving by or turned around in the back there or something and left. And you got lost or something. And, I'm coming up with logical answers. And I'm like, well, it's 3:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Fuck, Green Bay is closed on a Sunday at like 7:30, 9 o'clock at the latest. There ain't nothing open. So 3:30 in the morning, it's past. Even the crickets are done gone to sleep. Plus, it's winter time. It's getting cold out. There ain't people outside when it's cold out around here. They go inside. And so I'm like, well, there's maybe a car. I'm looking down even Main Street out the front window here, you can see. And there's nothing. There's no traffic anywhere. I'm telling you, this place is absolutely quiet. And the music was just fucking blaring in the bathroom from nowhere. And I still can't figure out where that music is coming from. And it went away that day. I've heard other music playing there, other people talking and stuff. And I was just like, what is up with this? Enough that I come into office the next day and there's my two other employees working. And I'm like, finally, I just got to tell them, because this has been like going on quite a bit. Enough that like I've heard the doors rattle. A door sound like when a door closes, clink. I hear that, but no one's there. I'm doing Lego because we do Lego on the channel, and I'm doing that, and I hear the sound of like one of the doors out here closing. Because they're all metal doors, but that foam and metal makes a click sound. And you can hear it because I don't have music playing because I'm doing Lego and, the copyright thing, you can't play music. So I can hear everything and there's no one else here. The door isn't fucking moved. Things aren't moving, but we're hearing the sounds of things moving. Hearing people talking, and it's not just like people walking by talking. That's a sound that we recognize. It gets higher pitched and then lower pitched and it goes away. But this isn't like that. This is like people laughing and talking there. Like 10 feet away. Like right there and not moving, but just being there. And it's like, what the fuck? And there's no one there. And you're like, or you just hear a sound that's just wrong. What made that sound? If there's absolutely nothing else in this fucking building or room, what made the sound? What moved? Nothing moved. If nothing moved, what made the sound? Anyway, I've been experiencing this for a few weeks. And finally, I come in one morning and my two employees are there. And I'm just like, hey, you guys are going to think I'm fucking stupid or got brain cancer now or something. I swear I don't do real drugs anymore. I mean, sure, I do smoke some really good weed, and weed is a mild hallucinogenic, but not to where I'm hearing shit. And they all agree, no one fucking really hallucinates off weed, especially if you've been smoking for a long time, like me. So I had to tell them, like, I've been hearing shit. I heard voices and music playing, music that no one plays anymore. And they're like, oh, thank God. We wanted to tell you, but we thought you called us pussies. Because they know my thing is ghosts can't be real. Mathematically, scientifically, the amount of energy you need to move an item or to make a sound is more than like what your human body produces in a day. So there's no way that ghosts can be fucking real, but yet I'm hearing shit, and I tell them that, and they tell me that they're hearing shit too. Okay, one of them said that he heard sounds. Well, yeah, sounds. Sounds of people talking and of doors opening and closing and footsteps coming up towards him and then footsteps walking away. Now, that would be creepy, and especially, but in here is tile floor. In his room and the office and the warehouse is carpet under giant 1-inch pad because we deal with a lot of glass bongs and water pipes and fancy glass. And I figure if someone drops it, I want a heavily padded floor so that it doesn't break. And that's why it's heavily padded. So how he could hear footsteps there on a padded floor is also doubly wrong. And he'd hear him coming up, footsteps coming towards him, and then footsteps going away, and people talking. And he said they were always asking a question. They're like questioning things, like someone's asking questions and the other person's answering, but he couldn't make out any of the words or any of the things that they were being said. So, yeah, that's what he heard. And that then one time he say he was in the bathroom. See, it's always a fucking bathroom. And he heard what sounded like someone walking into the thing and sitting on his chair. See, his chair was a shitty pedestal chair from Shopko. And it was like $35. So, and it was a desk chair. So when you sit on it, it went and squeaked up and down, every time you fucking sat on it. And so, you say that's a very distinctive sound and it's loud, every time. So he heard that. He heard someone sit in his chair. He didn't hear no one get up on it. He finishes his shit in the bathroom, comes out, and there's no one in the building. I ain't been into work yet. The other guy ain't been into work. No one's in his chair. His chair hasn't moved. But he heard it. And this guy never smokes weed. He's straight edge. So, okay. So now, the other guy, he's telling me a story where he's in separating the box. We just got in a bunch of new inventory, and we have to divide it between the 3 local stores and some for online. And he's separating, 222, 222, separating them out. And he hears a distinctive sound of my door from my office opening and me walking up towards him, and that's it. And then he looks, and he said there's nothing there. And the door's wide open, but it sounded like the door opened and someone walked across the floor towards him. And I'm like, I rarely ever shut my office door from here into the warehouse unless I'm like having a meeting or something of that nature. And then once again, to hear a sound of someone walking across a padded, carpeted floor, it doesn't make a lot of noise. So wherever floor he was hearing people walk on, it wasn't this floor now. And he said he's expected someone to be there, and no one's there. And once again, he's heard numerous times music and people talking and children and people talking and more music. And it's music that no one plays anymore. It would have been popular in the 70s or 50s even, but not now. It's not saying that's bad music. It's just we've moved past that, So, Stairway to Heaven, great song. Don't hear it on the radio a lot anymore, do you? There's other new songs. So, it's just, wow. Weird. My fucking building is haunted. I don't know. Glitch in the Matrix. Tape isn't fully erased and getting half partial images. Maybe multiple dimensions and it's bleeding through the layers somehow. Maybe ghosts really are fucking real and this is proof of ghosts and I need someone way smarter than me to solve it. I don't fucking know. Here's my video. My fucking building's haunted. never selling this place. We're stuck with it forever. This here is the garage. This big red part. And the darker spots are where we covered up graffiti, if you're wondering. The back of the building. There used to be an upstairs level. But what happened at one time was the 2 stories that was connected on the side here started to lean away from the building. So imagine there was another building right here and it went and started leaning. Broke away from the wall. So they tore that down and cut the apartment off the top. Literally took a chainsaw and just cut the top off. And then put a roof right on top of it. This is the other side of the building. This part here, behind this red wall and the gray wall, used to be a kitchen, like a restaurant kitchen, 120 years ago, I guess. I said, my building's old. And then here's the front. And you can see imagine there used to be 2 stories like the one next to it. And there were apartments up there. And this is the outside. It's pretty late. There's a bar. Some people. It's only midnight or so. But even at midnight, you can hear there's really no real sound around here. It's pretty deadly quiet. This is a metal door that separates my office from the rest of the warehouse. See, my office and the rest of the warehouse. And we're showing the door because it comes up in a few of the conversations, because all doors have a certain sound when they open. I don't know if you can hear that. But it's a real quiet, subtle sound. Yeah, there's steel doors. I put a deadbolt on to double check. And what else I wanted to show you through that door is the office. Messy, I told you. We work. Row tent with, I think there's like 15 fans humming in it right now, so it's a little noisy. But it's a white noise. Like, there's a back door. We're also put a steel deadbolt on that because we're trying to keep shit out. We have a sword for defense because, well, if there's a homeless person or a ghost, I don't fucking know. Well, we come back here into the bathroom. I wanted to show, yeah, we're showing the bathroom. You can see there's a wall, separates the space. There's the door, that's a wall. All these walls are heavily insulated and solid and just a working warehouse office bathroom, you know, nothing fancy. But you can hear there's another fan in here. And it's a small room that all the walls are heavily insulated. I have them insulate all the walls because we redid them all, just not for sound, but for heat, energy. You know, why not? But sitting in here with the door closed, no one should ever hear anything. Fuck, I hate shutting this door. As you saw, there's no noise outside to speak of. We're inside of an interior room, inside of that's heavily insulated. So sound would have to get through the exterior wall and then cover space and then go through these walls before we would hear it in here. But yet, people hear fucking music and people talking. And he goes, well, maybe it's just sound from the fans, from the grow tent. This is where we grow the pink dandelions. pinkdandelioninfo.com. Maybe it's just here. Hey, aren't they pretty? Ain't that pretty? It's hard to see the color in this light. But as you can tell, once you get in here, you don't hear shit in here. It's all just fans. Every light has a fan. There's fans everywhere. Yeah. So that kind of kills sound. There's the back side of the bathroom wall. As you can see, it just goes into the warehouse and there's nothing there. More space, dead space. You're gonna probably agree, my fucking building's haunted. I'm never gonna sell this thing. I'm gonna be stuck with this place forever. Okay, it's the next day. I had to leave last night. I couldn't hang out in this place at night too long. It really is fucking creepy. It's like walking through the woods alone at night. You know you can do it. You know there's probably not that many bears or homeless people that's going to attack you. But constantly you feel like you're being watched. And we feel like we're always being watched somehow. That's why all the doors got the toggle deadbolt, you know, to keep out homeless people. And we got everyone's armed and has weapons because, you know, the thought is, well, maybe someone snuck in. You know, it's kind of a big building. Maybe someone's hiding somewhere. And so that's why we're always armed. But at the same time, there ain't no one in here. All the doors, but like 2, are deadbolted all the time. No one could get in. And we've searched this place many times, all the time. It's like walking through the woods alone at night. Everyone's fucking scared to be in this place at night. So, yeah. If you actually are like a real ghost hunter or any of that thing, I'm open for you coming and investigating this place. You know, if you got the real equipment and knowledge on how to do all that shit, because we don't. We just know that something ain't right and everyone hears shit. So, and of course, it didn't show up on when I'm trying to record this one time. You know, but I don't know if you can even record it. You know, we all can't be fucking crazy. You know, just me, sure. Me, one other person, maybe. Third person, no. And just the way that they didn't want to admit it until I said it, and then they're like, oh, well, we wanted to tell you. That really kind of got to me, man. So, yeah, like I said, if you're a professional, please contact us. If you know anything else, comment down below. And with that, puff, puff, pass, no parking on the grass. I'm fucking out of here. This place sucks at night. I'm glad it's daytime now. I know scientifically that ghosts are real. I also know that my fucking building is haunted.